The story begins in a hospital, where many babies have just been born. Among them is an exceptionally beautiful girl named Mona Kawai. Then, the scene shifts to a park, where Mona has grown up. Everyone gathers around her, drawn by her beauty and poise. Her beauty captivates all. In another scene, Mona is playing hide and seek with her friends. However, everyone intentionally loses so she doesn't have to tire herself out looking. Mona begins to feel like a queen, and this pleases her greatly. When Mona grows up, one morning she wakes up, gets ready, and heads to school. On the way, everyone looks at her with admiration, making Mona feel truly special. Upon arriving at school, this doesn't change. Everyone respects and pays attention to her. When Mona greets everyone in class, they all happily respond. However, when she greets a new classmate named Kurwa, he doesn't pay her any attention at all. This makes Mona wonder why he never notices her. Mona approaches him and asks why, after more than 2 weeks since enrolling, he still hasn't bought the school uniform. Despite her attempts to talk to him, Kurwa remains cold and completely indifferent. The other boys in the class are very jealous because Mona always gives her attention to Kurwa. Some even whisper their displeasure that Mona only talks to him. Unexpectedly, Kurwa states bluntly that he wants to be left in peace. This statement surprises Mona greatly. She begins to wonder why, since she was little, everyone has paid attention to her, but Kurwa completely rejects her. Kurwa continues to ignore Mona, focusing only on his phone and watching cat videos. Upon realizing this, Mona comes up with an idea. She pretends to do cute, cat-like actions in class, drawing all eyes from the other boys. But Kurwa coldly asks her what she is doing, making Mona feel embarrassed. Kurwa's attitude confuses Mona, and she wonders why he doesn't pay any attention to her. Not only that, but Kurwa also asks her not to talk to him unless it's necessary. These words make Mona very surprised and sad. She remembers that since she was little, she has always been the center of attention, but Kurwa seems immune to her charm. On another occasion, Mona intentionally pulls her skirt up and stands on a chair to show herself, but he seems annoyed and glances away. Then, Mona deliberately pretends to fall while putting up a poster, hoping Kurwa will pay attention to her. However, he still ignores her and walks away. The other boys all rush to help Mona, but Kurwa doesn't even turn around. This makes her feel extremely embarrassed and confused. In class, while the teacher is lecturing, Mona asks to go outside because she doesn't feel well. The teacher agrees, and Mona asks if she can go outside with Kurwa. The whole class is surprised, but the teacher agrees. When they get to the nurse's office, Mona tries to get closer to Kurwa in a friendly manner. Kurwa wonders if she really doesn't feel well, but Mona says she approached him because he's the first person she wanted to be close to like that. She asks him how he feels, but Kurwa doesn't feel anything in particular. Mona smiles and says that maybe she's having an effect on him, but Kurwa still doesn't pay any attention and remains cold. When Mona and Kurwa go outside, Mona accidentally trips over the curtain, and they both fall onto the bed. Mona feels very embarrassed and wants to attract Kurwa's attention. She tries to unbutton her shirt to get his attention, but Kurwa only blushes for a second, and then gets angry, telling Mona not to do that. Mona pretends to cry, and when she falls off the bed, Kurwa falls with her. Mona realizes her shirt is unbuttoned and feels very ashamed. Kurwa quickly gets up and tells Mona that she shouldn't do that with people who don't truly care. He then leaves the room and tells her to save those actions for someone she actually likes. Mona feels very embarrassed upon hearing these words, and when she returns to class, she thanks Kurwa for going to the nurse's office with her. In her heart, she promises herself that she will do everything she can to win his heart. The next day, Mona continues to receive cold treatment from Kurwa. She asks if he's bought the new uniform yet, but Kurwa only answers briefly and doesn't talk much. During P class, Mona tries to attract the attention of her classmates by doing stretches, but Kurwa still doesn't pay attention. Mona tells him not to worry, one day she will make him fall for her. After P class, Mona starts to display her charm. Everyone around her is captivated and acts like crazy people, but Kurwa turns away and quietly leaves. The classmates who see this are very surprised. Mona feels her heart hurt once again. When Kurwa is drinking water, Mona still wonders why her charm has no effect on him. When she approaches, Kurwa doesn't look at her once. Mona says she knew this would happen. But when she prepares to drink water, Kurwa looks at her and starts to blush. Mona realizes that now she can make him feel different. She intentionally gets her shirt wet to attract attention, and when Kurwa sees it, he turns as red as a tomato because Mona is almost exposed. Because Mona is almost exposed with her wet shirt revealing the thin layer underneath. She also feels very embarrassed, and Kurwa gives her his t-shirt and tells her to wear it. When Mona sees Kurwa, she feels flustered and thanks him. After that, she starts to feel embarrassed looking at his stomach. Another girl realizes that Kurwa gave Mona his shirt, and she better understands the relationship between the two. Kurwa is on his way home when he remembers that his shirt smells, and he wonders how Mona could wear it. At that moment, a group of friends approaches and asks if Kurwa is too harsh with Mona, when she just wants to be friends with him. Kurwa says nothing and quietly leaves. Then, we see a scene in the park, where Kurwa explains that he's forbidden to have close contact with girls. He's not allowed to get close to them. One of his friends asks if he's ever had a girlfriend. Kurwa says that in his hometown there are only old people and goats, not any beautiful girls like that, and he doesn't know how to talk to girls. His friends realize this is why Kurwa always keeps his distance from Mona. Kurwa continues to explain that he has only seen beautiful girls like Mona on TV, and he always feels embarrassed when he's near her. He can't treat her better because his principles don't allow him to do so. He's a person who greatly respects rules and even refuses romance. However, he wonders how much fun it would be if he went out with Mona, but he tries not to let those lewd thoughts take over his mind. His friends see that Kurwa really can't change and remains steadfast in his views. The next day, at school, Mona returns Kurwa's shirt. She's washed it clean and made it smell nice before returning it, but she still teases that the shirt now has her scent on it. Hearing this, Kurwa is very embarrassed and quietly continues his work. Mona thinks to herself that no matter how hard Kurwa tries, she will still make him fall for her.